Hey everybody, Gabe Jenkins back with you, talking about number 21 here, AutoCAD drawing number 21, overview, which means I'm not going to walk you through with this one. I'm just going to tell you some of the big ideas here so that you can start to work on it on your own and figure everything out on your own before you get to the walkthrough video. Hopefully you're at the point where you can do all these things without really needing to rely on the walkthrough video. But if you need it, if you still need it, I'm not opposed to letting you see how I did it. All right. All right, so and again, with the caveat that the way I do it is not necessarily the right way, it is a way to do it. All right, so in this drawing, there's a lot that is familiar. There's a couple of things that are tricky though. Like the last drawing we did, I think pretty much every element in there was something we had done before and hadn't had to really figure out too many. There was just a lot of building step by step by step. This one's got a couple of tricky things to figure out. So for this one, I took the center point right here, right where the 8 basically is. I put that as my origin. I started off with a horizontal construction line that went straight out from that origin. I went up. I made an offset at 1.71 up as an important construction point, and I offset it down 2 as an important kind of construction line right there. So I start off with 3 lines. Next thing I did was I just made this interior kind of pocket right here. Inside part of this wrench. You can see it says radius of 2 for this arc here. So if you make a circle with a radius of 2, diameter 4 over here, and 1 over here, whose center points are 36 apart, 18 this way, 18 that way. If you do that, you can join them up with a line from the top quadrant here to the top quadrant there, and bottom quadrant to bottom quadrant. Kind of trim away the extra lines, and then you got that interior pocket done. Now, the tricky parts, though, are on the sides. So let's take a look at this one. Let's take a look at the left side more carefully. If we have drawn a construction line that goes exactly half of 70, so if it goes 35 over to here, okay, and if we go over to that point right there, it's 35 over, and on the origin, at that point, if we draw a 45-degree line coming down to the left, we now have this dotted line right here. That can serve as a basis for deciding where this line goes and this line goes using the offset tool. And it tells us that the offset is 8. Or I'm sorry, the offset, the whole cavity here, the whole space here is 8 units wide, which means that it's offset 4 in this direction and 4 in that direction. Okay. Now that's how we know where to draw this and this. Okay. Ultimately, then we're going to have to make an arc that goes from this corner here over to that corner there. That's got to have a radius of 10, and then we make little filleted corners. Okay. But just to be clear, that point that we started that diagonal line here is not the same as the center point of the circle you're going to draw here. The center point of the circle you draw for this big part of the wrench is exactly 2 down, and 2 over in that along that 45-degree line. So that's going to be the center point of this bigger circle that you draw right here. All right. In a similar way, the right side is constructed in a similar way. You draw the offset line over exactly 35 over, and then you go up at a 45-degree angle. You do not. Do you go up at a 45-degree angle? Yes, you go up at a 45-degree angle, but the offset here is 7.2 instead of 8, so it's 3.6 up and 3.6 down from that 45-degree angle. And the center point in this case is 2 over. The center point of this circle, let me be more clear. The center point of that circle is 2 over and 1.71 up, which is why we drew that 1.71 construction line up earlier. And so that's going to be the center point of this circle right here. This time, this arc that you're going to draw here has a radius of 9 instead of a radius of 10, but the little filleted corners are still a radius of 1 to get like that little corner right there and that little corner right there. After that, you're going to have radius, you're going to have fillets that join here, and this wider fillet, you can have a radius of 30, and then the kind of like slightly sharper, like smaller radius fillets that are going to go here and here have a radius of 8. So it's a fair amount to figure out, but ultimately it's not that complicated. You just have to be careful about where you situate the center points both of this 45-degree angle line going down, and making sure that you don't use that same thing as a center point for your bigger circle. All right, everybody, good luck to you. I hope you have a great day and hope you have fun with this one.